this is Glover Teixeira, UFC light heavyweight champion.
Hi, I'm Robbie Lawler.
What's up, fight family? This is your favorite MMA coach, Thiago Alves, the Pitbull.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Pedro Munoz.
This is Mike Brown.
Guys, I am Alexei Olenek, and welcome.
And welcome.
And welcome.
And welcome.
And this is We Want Picks.
And you're watching We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks.
We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks. Hi everybody from American Picks.
My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to recap UFC Vegas 45, Lewis versus Daukaus, and the craziness that was that fight card. Before I jump in, well, first of all, we made an absolute fortune. Jacob is up stupid money. I'm up a little bit of money, but up is up. We're going to talk about the fights. We'll talk about our successes. We'll talk about who won our weekly DraftKings giveaway. But before I dig in, go to wewantpicks.com/bets. We have 5 different betting partners. Jump into any of them, make a deposit, let me know, and I'll send you $50. It is free $50, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, however you want it. Free money from me to you as a thank you for supporting us and our partners. That's wewantpicks.com/bets. Any one of those 5 partners. I told you, Jacob is up insane money. He's up 12.9 units on the night. And this is the deal with Jacob. He takes chances. I'm far more conservative, but when it pays off, it pays off. We're on the 3rd week in a row that Jacob has been up crazy units. Last week, he was up 56 units. 56 units. And if a unit's $100, that's $5,600 in a weekend. So last night, he's up 12.9. A lot of that has to do with Melissa Gatto. So you got Jordan Leavitt. 2 units on him to win, which he did. Melissa Gatto plus 146. He put 5 units on that. And him and I, we nailed that pick, right? She was a good size underdog. We knew she was big, strong, capable. We knew how well she was going to do with the grappling of Sajara. And we knew her cardio would hold up. I didn't think she was going to stop Sajara, but she did. And Jacob cashed another 4 units on the wins inside the distance. Decision, no action. He missed getting her by submission. He did get Gamrot Fajeda under 2.5. And there's a theme here. He cashed a bunch of these. He missed a few, but I mean, we're all about transparency here. This is every single bet that we told you about. If we come down, this is why we always say follow the Twitter. I retweeted these from the We Want Picks account, but follow Jacob as well. During the fights, he did 3 units, does not go the distance on Gamrot and Fajeda. He hit that at plus 105. And then he live bet Lemos at plus 162. And what was awesome about that is Lemos was a minus 300, minus 400, something absurd going into that fight. But after that first round, it looked like Angela Hill was starting to come on, starting to put on a little pressure. The odds completely flipped because they thought Angela Hill would take that fight, and she didn't. And then Jacob cashed on that as well. And I'm up 1.2 units. Nothing crazy, but up is up, and I'm fine with ending the year. If you remember, went on that 7-month win streak. The last 2 cards have not been great to me, but at least we're going to end the year on top. I had Gamrot 3 full units, and I don't normally do that much, but he was the most undervalued. Like, his DraftKings price was insanely low. The odds were minus 200. He should have been a minus 500 favorite. But we'll talk about the fights in a minute. I cashed that. I cashed Melissa Gatto, and I cashed Belal Muhammad at plus 200. I don't know how many people were on Belal Muhammad. I certainly was. And I mean, we'll talk about this in detail, but the reality is we just watched Wonder Boy get tooled around by a 155-pound grappler. Belal Muhammad was a much better wrestler, and he's a 170-pounder. That was such a no-brainer for me. Let's move on. Let's talk about DraftKings. DraftKings was great to me as well. I've got my lineup on the left, and then mine and Jacob's on the right. So myself, Jacob, Dan, Nick Newell, a bunch of us are in a friends league. It's just us. We compete against each other. It's only a $20 entry. It's nothing crazy, but the payouts can get solid depending on how many people join. I took first 578 points. I went 6 for 6. I took a look at the We Want Picks League, and I would have won that as well. So maybe I should give myself that $50. But listen, I went 6 for 6. My lowest point scoring person was Mearshart, and I could have afforded what the hell was his name? Charles Jourdain, because Charles Jourdain was 8,900, Mearshart was 9,000. So I could have made that swap and scored 600 plus points here. But listen, we'll talk about these fights. We'll dig into it. But I took first in the league, and Jacob took second in the league. He went 5-1. His only loss was Stoltzfus. But if we look, Dustin Stoltzfus scored 46 in a loss. Mearshart 61 in a finish win, which means Dustin Stoltzfus was well on his way to score way more points than Gerald Mearshart if he was going to win. DraftKings was wild. We'll break down the We Want Picks fan league and who wins that money a little later. Let's take a look at Monkey Knife Fight. So I cashed on Monkey Knife Fight. Nothing crazy. I only played $100 and I won 30 back. But hey, money's money. And what did I say? Knockout Kings and Monkey Knife Fight is 100% free money. It is free money. I did 2 Knockout Kings. Honestly, I should have deposited and this is going to sound absurd, I should have deposited like $1,000. And I should have just put in it all on Knockout Kings. The payouts aren't amazing. It's only 25% net profit payout, but it's free money. Let's take a look. So I missed the more on Daukaus and Lewis. That's strike line. I missed that. No big deal. But again, this is full transparency. We show you everything, the wins and the losses. I hit the less on Gamrot Fajeda, so I'm good with that. I paid 10, I won 25. But Knockout Kings, I put in 50, I got 62.50. That's 25% back. I got 2 knockouts. I could have, I don't like taking the chance, but I could have chased 2 knockouts where you get 2.5 times your money instead of 25% back. But Lewis, obviously with the big knockout, Gamrot, that was ruled a TKO. And then I hit Lewis and Gamrot in both of them. I did 2 of them. I won this Pennington-Elkins rapid fire, but that actually got refunded because it was Elkins versus Barcelos, and that fight was canceled. And then I missed a 3 for 3, all because of Darren the Damage Elkins. But that would have been 10 to win 50 because those are 5 times. Listen, Monkey Knife Fight is a ton of fun. We're taking a break from fights. We don't have any fights until mid-January. But it's football, basketball. It's all the sports. The lines are great. The props are a ton of fun. The payouts are super high. You can parlay these together, do 25 times your money. wewantpicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit when you sign up. Take that free money, the free deposit match money, and play with that. Don't even use your real money. Use the free money, play with that, win it back. Then you can withdraw your real money and you're just playing with house money from then on out. Let's talk about the fights. A bunch of awesome fights. So Raquel Pennington versus Macy Chiasson. I had Raquel Pennington in my DraftKings lineup. Positive she was going to win, but I will say in the beginning, she got touched up a little bit. What was our breakdown? That Macy actually uses her range really well. We talked about Andre Ewell, who does not use his range well, but Macy does. She uses her reach, uses her range really well. And it was working for her until Raquel, her corner was like, let your hands go. And she let her hands go, and she looked phenomenal. She's got a nice 2-fight win streak. She started with the boring, hold you against the cage, and then she really turned it on, looked great, scored a ton of points for me in DraftKings. I'm super happy about that. But Raquel Pennington looked fantastic. Happy about that win. And listen, we may now have a contender. It's only 2 wins in a row, but she's looking good in a division that could use some more contenders. Raquel Pennington certainly working her way up. Charles Jourdain versus Andre Ewell. I think everybody had Charles Jourdain winning. I played the under on rounds. Listen, I knew how tough Andre Ewell was, and damn is he tough. I just thought Jourdain was going to be able to get it done, or Ewell would catch him because Ewell's a nasty boxer. And it was a fun fight. Typical. This is the most Charles Jourdain fight you'll ever get minus the stoppage. Slow first round, pick up the pace like a mother the next few rounds. And that's exactly what that animal did. The coolest part about that fight was the very end, the last 30 seconds of the 3rd round, when he just kicks Andre Ewell in the chest, sends him to the ground, and starts screaming. That was awesome. What a fun fight. Charles Jourdain, I'm very much looking forward to him in the future. Melissa Gatto versus Sijara Eubanks. We were all over Melissa Gatto. She was Jacob's lock of the week. He bet an absurd amount of money on her to win inside a distance, to win money line. He went nuts for Melissa Gatto. Good for him for taking those chances, but we were both all over her to win this fight. Listen, Sijara Eubanks is massive. She did look good in her last fight, but context is everything. She beat a UFC debut that was 4-0 in her last fight. Okay. Melissa Gatto, 7-0, now 8-0, but big, strong, jacked, a very good grappler. And those are Sajara's exact strengths. So it was a very good fight. Sajara is super tough. And I was worried that in the first round, Sajara, there was a couple takedowns, reversals, exchanges there. I thought Sajara was going to be able to just stay on top, hold Melissa Gatto down, and Melissa would just accept bottom position, which she's done in the past. But she stayed busy. She worked up. She scrambled up. Her cardio stayed intact. I was worried she was going to gas. Melissa Gatto looked fantastic. Jacob could pay off his house with the money that he made from that fight. So I'm very much looking forward to what's next for Melissa Gatto. I feel sort of bad for Sajara Eubanks. She's back down to a 500 fighter. She is very good, but, she's going to destroy anybody who's not in the top 10. And Melissa Gatto will be in the top 10 soon enough. Great fight, ton of fun. Look forward to Melissa Gatto, and I hope Sajara gets to stick around. Gerald Meerschaert versus Dustin Stoltzfus. We talked about earlier that Charles Jourdain fight that's a very typical Charles Jourdain fight. Well, Jared Meerschaert versus Dustin Stoltzfus, this was a very typical Jared Meerschaert fight. Looked okay in his feet, always on the verge of getting knocked out, losing, and then pulls it off in the third round. Jared Meerschaert was like, he was too willing to accept bottom, way too willing to accept bottom. And he scrambled. He threw up a slick armbar. He threw up a bunch of slick stuff, and his grappling is phenomenal. Paul Felder was talking about how he trained with him, and his hands are very good. Like his timing is good, his athleticism is good, and sometimes he doesn't bring it all together. And that's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. Because he came out, he looked like the better striker to start, and then things started to change. He jumped on a guillotine, which was stupid. Like, he did a few things that just didn't make any sense. Gerald Meerschaert is ridiculously dangerous on the ground. Ridiculously dangerous on the ground. The amount of stoppages that guy has is insane. But he's beatable. He's very beatable. Dustin should have done it. I'm very interested to see what the next matchup is, but anybody with some decent jiu-jitsu defense will beat Gerald Meerschaert. And I know that sounds ridiculous because Dustin had very good jiu-jitsu defense, but he also got tired, got caught in a scramble. But Dustin looked good. I hope he doesn't get cut. That is 3 losses in a row. But he did look good leading up to that. He should have won that fight because Meerschaert looked awful. He looked terrible leading up to the finish. It's not like he looked good. Dustin looked amazing. Jared looked miserable. Jared pulled off the submission. The other thing that's super funny, sorry, I literally have COVID right now, so throat's a little dry. The other thing that's funny is Gerald Meerschaert, his name, his look, nothing about him screams American. And it's just so funny to me every time, he's from Wisconsin, and every time he talks and does interview, like, he's obviously an American, but it just throws me for a loop because I'm just picturing, I don't know, Gerald Meerschaert, the grappler, with the beard, the whole thing. I definitely, if you listed out, where is this guy from? America, I wouldn't even consider it. Either way, listen, we'll see what his next matchup is. If it's a favorable matchup, I'm all over him. But somebody with some solid submission defense and some decent volume will get it done against Gerald Meerschaert. Cub Swanson versus Darren Elkins. I got my ass handed to me on this one. I loved Darren Elkins in this fight. I thought it'd be a good matchup. Listen, I knew his striking wasn't great. And Jacob, who loves Ryan Hall, used Ryan Hall as the barometer to say how miserable Darren Elkins' striking was. He basically said Ryan Hall beat Darren Elkins in a fight with 0 takedowns. He outstruck Darren Elkins. That's the guy you think is going to beat Cub Swanson? And if that's not a perfect analogy, you're 100%. He's right. He's right. I should have taken more stock into that. Like, yeah, Darren couldn't even outstrike Ryan freaking Hall, but he's an outstrike Cub Swanson. I did think that Darren would make it dirty, would just grind, and he can take damage. That's his whole shtick. But Cub Swanson looked fantastic. Just got the ball rolling with a really solid strike. And then from there, just danced around, was clearly faster, clearly more athletic, clearly hit harder. Darren Elkins needs a dirty fight to win, and he just did not get the opportunity to make that a dirty fight. So Cub Swanson, I don't know what this does for him other than got paid, got himself a nice win. Like, he's obviously not going to be vying for a title anytime soon, but I'm happy for the dude. He's an absolute legend. We've been watching him for years. I'm happy for him. I don't think it takes any stock away from Darren, though. He's obviously super tough, and he got blasted by, an all-time great at this weight class. Gamrot versus Fajeda. Listen, I had 3 full units money line on Gamrot. Jacob had the under on rounds on Gamrot. We were positive Gamrot was going to win, and he was only $8,500 in DraftKings. We said going into this week, the number one lock on this card is Gamrot. The fact that he was only a minus 200 favorite and not a minus 500 favorite was shocking to me. That dude should have been a massive favorite. A massive favorite. But 500 favorite? Nope. 3? Nope. 2? Yep. I'll take it. I put 3 units on it. And he looked good. His striking looked good. Obviously, his wrestling is pretty savage. I will say, my takeaway from this fight was, yes, Gamrot is exactly as good as I thought he was. But holy shit, is Diego Fajeda good. He is good, man. He stuffed a few of those takedowns. His striking looked crisp. Like, Diego Fajeda is very good, and he will beat a lot of people. He's just had 2 unfortunate matchups in a row. Gillespie, a nasty wrestler. Gamrot, a nasty wrestler. But Diego Fajeda hits hard, is fast, has good jiu-jitsu. Diego Fajeda is the real deal. Gamrot is legit. I am very excited for both of these guys, their next fights. I do think Gamrot, if he doesn't end up a world champion, he'll be very close. He'll be one of those top-tier guys, and he'll be doing things for a while. And Diego Fajeda is like, let's just give him a matchup that isn't somebody trying to take him down the whole time, and let his hands fly. Let his jiu-jitsu fly. Let's see his skill set, because Diego Fajeda's legit, and hopefully the UFC's takeaway was the same as mine, where Gamrot is exactly as good as I thought he was, but holy crap, Fajeda's better than I thought he was. Ricky Simone versus Rafael Assunção. Listen, we all pick Ricky. I think everybody in the world picked Ricky. I did talk about how tough Rafael Assunção is, his veteran savvy, all of that. And there were moments of that, but Ricky Simone is just so relentless, such crazy pressure. Dude scored 10 million points in DraftKings because of the takedowns, the control, and eventually the stoppage. So Ricky Simone, he did exactly what he was supposed to do, and he looked exactly how he was supposed to look. I think at this point, they need to give him somebody a little tougher. Let's give him top 15, top 10. Let's give him somebody in that sort of top bracket of the division so we can see how good he is, because he's a ton of fun. He's super exciting in his fights. He's got a great personality, good look. The dude is phenomenal, as far as marketing and excitement is concerned. Let's give him somebody, right? Let's give him somebody. Let's see where it goes. Unfortunately for Assunção, who's another guy who's been fighting for 20 years at a very high level, I think this is his 4th loss in a row. He's probably going to retire here, 38, 39. But Ricky Simone did exactly what we thought he would do, maybe a little better than we thought he would do. Obviously, we knew he'd win, but, I didn't think he'd be early stoppage like that. But I do want to see him against the next level opponent, erase that Uriah Faber knockout and all that stuff. But Ricky Simone, real deal. I always want to say Simon, but it's Simone. Amanda Lemos versus Angela Hill. We talked about this a little bit before. So Jacob live bet Amanda Lemos because she looked good the first round. Blasted Angela Hill with that Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort kick right up the middle. Dropped her, touched her up. Amanda Lemos had a ton of power in her hands. Amanda Lemos' cardio stood up. So here's the takeaway. Amanda Lemos is exactly as good as we thought she was, and a little better because she has cardio that people were worried about. And Angela Hill is exactly as tough as we thought she was. Angela Hill, if you watched our breakdown, Lemos was the pick. But what did I say? You should probably bet plus 3.5 on Angela Hill, which is Angela Hill to win one single round on the scorecards. And she absolutely did that because I knew how tough Angela Hill was. I knew what she could do in these fights. And I knew that she wasn't really finishable. And it was a lot of favorable things for her. She wasn't going to be the athlete, wasn't going to hit as hard as Amanda Lemos did. But holy crap, did she make that a fight? I know Jacob thought that Angela Hill won. And I didn't have a dog in this fight, so I was pretty unbiased. I didn't bet or anything like that. But I thought Amanda Lemos won. I thought that was a fair decision because she clearly won the first round. I think the second went to Angela Hill, but the third, I think it was just clear. First of all, the strike numbers showed that Amanda was landing more. But I thought it was just clear that Amanda had more power. She just seemed more dangerous. She seemed to be more effective in what she was doing. So Angela Hill was surviving, pushing the pace, held her against the cage, got a few takedowns, couple scrambles. But I just felt like at any moment, Amanda was about to stop Angela Hill. And that's a factor. That's absolutely a factor, especially for the judges. So I'm okay with the decision, but if it went the other way, I would have been okay with that too. So listen, Angela Hill is a phenomenal commentator, a very tough, a gamer, a very good fighter. I think she should continue fighting. I think they'll give her matchups like this to see how good somebody is. And I think she'll, beat some, lose to some, and she'll have a fun career till she ultimately retires and sticks at the broadcast booth. But Amanda Lemos, real deal. The cardio showed up. This fight went everywhere. It was on the ground. It was on its feet. So it went everywhere. She's absolutely the real deal, and I'm curious to see what they do with her next. Belal Muhammad versus Wonder Boy Thompson. As I told you guys this week, the very first bet that I made was I sat down to do the graphics for this show, and I got to the co-main. I did Belal, Steven. I didn't even need to do the research. I was like, Belal Muhammad's going to win this fight. I immediately went to wewantpicks.com/bets. I clicked on Bet Online. I made a bet, and I went moneyline Belal Muhammad at plus 200. I thought those odds were fantastic. Plus 200? We just watched Wonder Boy lose to Gilbert Burns in a grappling match. We just watched him get taken down over and over and over by Gilbert Burns, who's a 155-pounder. Belal Muhammad, who's a legit decent-sized 170-pounder and is a grappler, was obviously going to beat Stephen Thompson the way that he did. Obviously. It was very obvious to me that was going to happen. I will say I got nervous as hell during walkouts because I'm like, shit, man, Wonder Boy is so big and so talented. And even the first minute, Wonder Boy spinning, laser accuracy, defended a takedown, stood up on another takedown. But Belal stuck to that game plan, nonstop wrestle, stuck to the game plan, made it happen, push. And good for him because it's a solid win. And I don't think this takes away from Steven. I don't think this is a fight where you go, Wonder Boy's got to retire. His best days are behind him. It's like, no, all right, well, Wonder Boy has been getting taken down a lot, which is great. This is great. This is perfect for the division because how many times is Wonder Boy going to fight for a title, especially at 39, right? We don't need these guys fighting for titles and knocking off contenders. But Belal riding a wild little win streak here, coming off some good wins over some good names, all of a sudden his name is in the mix. So I was positive the fight was going to go this way. I obviously got a little nervous when Wonder Boy went out there, started spinning, started with that laser accuracy. Listen, this is what I think should happen next. Give Wonder Boy another aging, fun type fight and give Belal a step up. Let's see what Belal's – give him Gilbert Burns. Christ, they both beat – give him Gilbert Burns and let's see what happens. But either way, I don't think anything gets taken away from Wonder Boy, and I think Belal gets the respect he deserves. You guys were trashing me for that pick. Obviously, some of you were with me, but a lot of people were very anti-Belal Muhammad on that pick, which I was so surprised at. Main event, even Derek Lewis, Chris Daukaus. Listen, nobody should be surprised in any Derek Lewis fight when he wins by knockout, and I certainly wasn't. I lost the bet. I had a bet on Daukaus. I thought Daukaus would stick and move a little more. A part of me thought he was going to have a grapple-heavy game plan, but he struck it out, and he was dancing a little bit. He was sticking a little, moving a little, and all it takes is one freaking shot, dude. Derek Lewis, if you look at the stats, he landed 2 punches. 2. And then a few minutes later, finally lands a decent one, and then a wild barrage, wild onslaught, solid volume, and then got the KO, TKO. He became UFC's all-time knockout leader. And here's the thing, man. I don't think that's good for the division because he just knocked off who could have been the number one contender. Tom Aspinall is the only other heavyweight right now that it makes any sense to give a title shot to. We can't keep having Derek Lewis knock out the number 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in the world, and then he fights for a title and gets absolutely embarrassed. He's fought for 2 titles, right? When he fought Derek Lewis, was that for Daniel Cormier, was that for a title? Because Daniel Cormier smoked him. Cyril Gane smoked him. His fight against Francis Ngannou was boring. He won that, but it was super boring. So we need 2 things to happen. Hopefully, if Derek Lewis does get another title shot, he lets his hands go. I'd rather him get knocked out cold trying than just do the Derek Lewis, which is stand there, wait, throw one punch. Did it hit? No. I'll wait. Throw another one. Did it hit? No. I'll wait. Oh, that one hit. Let me run in. It's tense. His fights are exciting because of that. But you can't build a career on one punch, victories, and anybody who can avoid that will beat you. Either way, and I know I'm trashing the guy who just won, who just became the all-time KO king, and it's not that I'm trashing him. Him as champion would be amazing. He's so funny. He knocks people out. He's scary as hell. The problem is you cannot rely on him to actually bring the fight. So hopefully this, I would say he's a little busier in this fight than previous ones, and hopefully that's a shot at the future for him. But I don't know what they do. He said he'll be ready if Ngannou or Gane drop out. And honestly, I'd be fine with him jumping in. I'd rather see Ngannou versus Gane, but I'd be fine with him jumping in. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Daukaus can put together another streak because we need legitimate heavyweight contenders that are stringing together multiple wins. But it was a ton of fun. The fights were awesome. wewantpicks.com/bets. I will give you $50 free. It's that simple. I'll give you $50 for free. wewantpicks.com/bets. Click on one of the links. Make a deposit. Let me know. I'll send you $50. It's that simple. If you don't know, we have a free DraftKings league. It's 100% free. It costs you nothing to join the league. It costs you nothing to participate in the contest. But if you win the weekly contests that are free, I will send you $50. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, however you want it. I will send you $50. But you have to be a member of our YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a join button under the video. Click it. Become a member. It's helpful, and you can win $50. JMart419, I don't know if you're a member or not, so reach out. Let me know if you're a member. I'll send you $50. Let me know how you want it. It's that simple. You scored 569 points, which is fantastic. I mean, I scored more, 578, but hey, good for you. You got Bilal Muhammad, 132 points. Lemos, only 67, which, listen, you spend $9,500. I get why people did it, but I just did not think she was going to knock out Angela Hill. You spend $9,500, you definitely want more of a return than $67.53. If we reversed Bilal Muhammad's price and Amanda Lemos's price, that would have been worth it. Instead, Bilal Muhammad paid for himself 10 times over. Gamrot at $8,500, I said, was one of the most undervalued guys in the entire card, and he proved that with 103 points. Charles Jourdain at 89, scored 91 points. I told you in my lineup, he was $8,900. I could have gotten him instead of Mearshart, who was 9,000, and I would have scored over 600 points. But either way, Charles Jourdain looked fantastic, put up some solid points, not in a, he went to a decision. He still did that. Melissa Gatto, 7,500 points, put $7,500, put up 81 points, and Rocky Pennington put up 93. This is a great lineup. Great lineup. Let's take a look at second place. Jam. Is that Jam? You got jammed from Park and Rec. You had Mearshart. Look, Mearshart, 61, $9,000. Again, if we went Charles Jourdain, we would have scored some more points there. You went 5-1, and you only missed first place by 20 points, and that really came down to Angela Hill. What a shame, but she was $6,700, super affordable. You got Tafa at 103, and then you had Gamrot at 103. Ricky Simone, I had him as well, 106, and Mearshart at 61. So if you make that little change, you had Jourdain instead of Mearshart, you would have won this league with 5 wins instead of the person who did win with 6. Either way, guys, it's been so much fun. This has been such a spectacular year. We'll put out more content before the next UFC. But JMart419, if you are a member, reach out, let me know. I'll send you $50. Everybody else, we have a Discord. Join the Discord. Argue with each other on the Discord. Share information on the Discord. We have the best community in this world. So let's share our knowledge, share with each other, join the Discord. The link is in the description. I'll see you guys at some point. If I don't see you before then, Merry Christmas. Have a good time and enjoy your families.